Hi, I'm Eric. Do you have a sweet tooth? I certainly do. I love dessert. Chocolate cake? Yum. Ice cream? Yum. Candy? Yum! I started thinking to myself, why do I love sweet things so much? Why does dessert taste so good? Is it because sugar is addictive? Is the reason that I want to eat more sweet things because they're addictive? Let's find out. First, let's begin with what exactly is sugar? Sugar is a substance that comes from plants that we use to add sweetness to food and drinks. That's right, sucrose, which is the chemical name for sugar, is produced naturally in plants like sugarcane and sugar beets, as well as fruits, vegetables, and even nuts. How is sugar produced naturally in plants? Well, that's through the process called photosynthesis. Photosynthesis is when plants and a few other organisms use sunlight to produce nutrients from carbon dioxide and water. Sucrose, aka sugar, is a simple carbohydrate. Carbohydrates are the name for naturally occurring sugars, starches, and fibers that are found in food. Sucrose is a simple carbohydrate that is made up of two smaller carbohydrates called fructose and glucose. And what are glucose and fructose? Well, along with galactose, they're the three components that make up all forms of carbohydrates. When these three simple sugars link up with each other, they make more complex carbohydrates. What's the difference between a simple carbohydrate and a complex one? Well, our bodies convert sugar molecules into glucose, which the body uses for energy. Complex carbohydrates have longer chains of sugar molecules than simple carbohydrates, meaning because they are longer, they take longer to break down, which gives your body more energy than a simple carbohydrate would. Complex carbohydrates are found in foods such as peas, beans, whole grains, potatoes, and other vegetables. All carbohydrates are made up of one or more molecules of sugars. No matter how complex a carbohydrate is, to begin with, once it is digested in your body, all carbohydrates are broken down to glucose, fructose, and galactose. There are many types of sugar that we use in everyday foods and drinks. We have white sugar, brown sugar, raw sugar, honey, maple syrup, agave, and corn syrup. That's a lot of sugars. Some sugars are better for you than others. Have you ever tried coconut sugar or honey in your tea instead of white sugar? Yum! Now, although sugar in its original form is natural, it provides no nutritional value. That's right, no protein, no vitamins, no nutrients. But it definitely adds a nice sweetness to food and drinks. Otherwise, they wouldn't taste very good depending on how well you can tolerate foods with no sweetness. So, back to the main question. Why do I like sugar so much? Is it because it's addictive? Well, the answer is complicated. If we go by the scientific definition of addiction, sugar doesn't quite fit. An addictive substance changes your mood and causes dependence, which sugar doesn't do. But although sugar isn't classified as an addictive substance, it has addictive characteristics, but only if you have too much of it. Now, it isn't as addictive in the same way tobacco, alcohol, and other drugs are, so don't worry. But consuming too much sugar still isn't good for you. Sugar consumption releases dopamine in our bodies. This is why some researchers believe sugar to have addictive characteristics, because dopamine is a neurotransmitter that is the main part of what is known as the reward circuit. What dopamine does is when it is released in the body, it makes you feel really happy, which is known as a high. Dopamine makes you want to keep experiencing this high, so you seek out what gave you the high in the first place. In this case, it's eating sugar. This is the reward circuit. As you seek out the high more and more, your brain begins to adjust to release less dopamine, which makes your brain want to increase the amount of dopamine so you can experience a stronger high. This is known as substance use disorder. Calling sugar addictive has researchers debating all over the world, but most seem to agree that although sugar has addictive properties, it cannot be classified as an addictive substance, but instead fits better under the term of substance misuse. Some of the reasons for this are because sugar is known as palatable food. Palatable food not only tastes yummy, but when we eat it, it makes us want to eat more of it. Why do you think we want to eat more palatable food like sugar? Well, this is because in order to survive, we need calories, because calories give us energy. So our bodies respond more happily to high-calorie foods like ones that contain a lot of sugar. Hedonic value is the enjoyment you get out of something. So in the case of sugar, the hedonic value is how yummy it tastes. Food researchers believe there to be a bliss point in food. Bliss point is the term for the amount of ingredient that helps food taste better. Food retailers will make sure to make their food as close to the bliss point as possible to make people want to eat their food products again and again. Sugar is used to create a bliss point. Sugar is also reinforcing. Reinforcing behavior means that after someone is exposed to something and they enjoy it, they are willing to work harder to get more of it. Because sugar works as a reward, sugar tends to make people respond well to everything they associate with sugar. This doesn't always have to be a particular food. It can be a particular restaurant or a brand. Sugar has been shown to have an effect on the human body that is similar to an addictive drug. Like we talked about before, sugar can make you want and need more of it, which can make it a little difficult to cut from your diet. And when you do cut sugar from your diet, it can actually trigger withdrawal symptoms, similar to those you can experience with drugs, but obviously nowhere near as bad. These symptoms can include fatigue, depression, and body aches. So, what actually happens to my body when I eat sugar? When you think of sugar, you mostly think of the ingredient that's found in cookies and cakes and candy, but sugar is found in most other products, including cereal, bread, condiments, and the list goes on. Sugar is in most things, and many of the foods and drinks that people regularly consume are high in sugar. When you consume a lot of sugar, it enters your blood really quickly because there aren't any nutrients or fiber to slow down the process of breaking it down. This rises your blood sugar levels quickly. When your blood sugar or glucose levels rise, your body works fast to try and process it because your body knows that too much blood sugar isn't good. Your body processes the sugar by releasing a hormone in your pancreas called insulin. Insulin works by helping the glucose to leave your blood and enter your cells, which gives you an energy burst. As your cells absorb the glucose from your blood sugar levels begin to drop. When you eat too much sugar, it forces the insulin to work overtime, which can make your blood sugar levels drop too low. This can make you feel tired and grumpy and make you crave more sugar. What short-term health effects does eating too much sugar have? Well, like we talked about before, sugar can provide you with a quick burst of energy, but it doesn't last very long. The burst of energy can make you feel hyper and unable to concentrate. And then when the insulin starts working and your blood levels go down, you might be left feeling grumpy and sad. Too much sugar can also make you feel sick. Consuming too much sugar has also been known to weaken our immune system by lowering the ability of our white blood cells to fight off bacteria, which can make you get sick more easily. Without an overload of sugar in your system, you will feel much better in your mood and in energy. What long-term effects does eating too much sugar have? Eating too much sugar can make you feel full, so you don't eat enough nutritious foods. This isn't good because your body needs nutrients such as protein, vitamins, and minerals to be healthy. Too much sugar in your body has been linked to many diseases and health complications such as diabetes, high blood pressure, allergies, asthma, and many more. So we know having a lot of sugar is bad for your health and can be somewhat addicting, but will a little sugar hurt me? The answer is no. Unless you have diabetes or an issue with your blood sugar, eating a little bit of sugar a day will not hurt you. The American Heart Association recommends no more than 3 teaspoons of added sugar per day for a kid. That's just 12 grams. The average consumption is much higher. For a kid, it's around 20 grams. There is so much added sugar in most foods and drinks that this recommended allowance can be exceeded with just 1 bowl of cereal. What is added sugar? Added sugar is the sugar and high fructose corn syrup that are added to food and drinks. According to a study, added sugar is in around 74% of packaged foods. That's a high percentage. That's because sugar is in so many food items. The FDA, which is the Food and Drug Administration, states that there is more than 3,000 food additives that can be put into our processed foods. Sugar is the second most common on the list, right behind salt. Eating a little sugar is fine. Remember, everything in moderation, meaning you can have bad foods just as long as it's only a little bit. Don't think of sugar as addictive, but instead as a treat. You should try and limit drinking soda, sugary drinks, and even fruit juices. Drink more water. Try and consume foods that contain natural sugars like fruits, because fruits contain nutrients. Foods with natural sugars are low in calories and sodium and usually have loads of vitamins and minerals that are good for you. Naturally occurring sugars are found in the lactose in milk and the fructose in fruit. Did you know that the fiber in fruits slows down how quickly your body digests it? So you don't get the same sugar spike in your blood levels that you do after eating things like candy and cake. Also, the lactose in milk has protein, which the added sugars in other beverages don't have. You could also try using the natural sugar substitute, stevia, into your food or drinks instead of added sugar. Remember, sugar isn't all bad. You just have to limit your intake and be smart about what sugars you have more of. See you next time!
We are thrilled that you're watching Blue Studios 24/7. We're so excited to bring round-the-clock entertainment and educational content to your home. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button to stay up to date with our latest videos. At Blue Studios, we aspire to revolutionize the way families spend time together. We empower families by providing them with tools to work together, earn and learn, and achieve new heights of success. Visit www.bluestudios.io to discover more about our mission and how we empower families to succeed. Thank you so much for being part of our community. Keep watching and learning with us. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button.